not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we gon' blow your mind.
And now we get a peek at some of the top players here for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis ready to go in the booth. We hope you're ready to go at the controls. Let's play. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Let's go!
Now Prescott. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Ray Nitschke. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Wide open receiver complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On fourth down, Elway. This will be caught at about the 3. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marvin Harrison, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's third down. On third down, it's Prescott. And he connects with Ebron. And they get 14 yards there and a first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level.
And the Raiders have got him. Javon Curse in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Now Prescott. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. And a huge play that time. 41 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They'll run again with Blunt. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And Coons connects on this one. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7 to 3. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
LaShawn McCoy off to the races. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. LaShawn McCoy, 76 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Charles, they had 6 DBs out there. They were thinking pass. They surprised him with a long run.
I wonder if they saw that and just checked to it. Maybe had an audible and said, you know something, against 6 defensive backs, let's run the football. Let's get our big guys downfield and match up with the littler guys and see if we can create some space. And not only did they create space, they created a path all the way to the end zone.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
As a general rule, when you take a deep shot downfield, it's usually a timing pattern. Quarterback in the pocket and looking to hit his receiver downfield. But when he has to move outside of it, timing often gets thrown off, and on that play, that caused the incompletion.
Throwing, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Taking it about the 36. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Elway. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I believe I understand where the offense was going there. They just hit a big pass play, thought they could fool him with a run, but maybe they overthought it a little bit. Just hit a nice pass, come back with another one, keep the momentum going.
And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And they're not able to convert on 4th down.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside and told the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you can just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon. Now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Raynitzky. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, David. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. On 3rd down, Elway. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going on It's Elway. And this is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it'll give him the first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
That is caught at the 7. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 5 at the 4.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. Flush to his right and incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Coons connects on this one. It's good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fresh set of downs here. This give is to McCoy. And LaShawn McCoy off to the races. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
And the lead is up to 14. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's Elway to throw. It's complete to Golden Tate. 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown.
Faster than a hairpin trigger. Don't you say, don't you say it. Don't say, don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break it. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands, pull and make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Choke this love till the veins start to shiver. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Tales of an endless ride. Cursed is the fool who's willing. Can't change the way we are. One kiss away from killing. Don't you say it. Don't say, don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break it. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands, pull and make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Choke this love till the veins start to shiver. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Like a river, like a river. Like a river, like a river. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands, pull and make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Choke this love till the veins start to shiver. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river.
All up in my face from the front. Give me space, we might rock it. Don't say that, baby, they don't love the clip. I thought they love you when you make it. This some mud. Yeah, this some mud. Friends and business don't mix, so I'm brotherless. Tryna
Charles and I set for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup as we get a peek some of the stars in today's game. Well, will they be stars? Will you be a star? We'll find out. Let's play. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now Elway on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and that'll bring up second down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
This is McCoy, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looks pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Elway. This is Clark. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed. Boom, landed. All right, now look at 56.
They'll try and throw for it with Elway. And it is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And they're going to have this one up near the 30-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Benjamin with it over the middle. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. On play action, Rodgers. Benjamin's got it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Rodgers now on first down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Forced out to his left. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. To throw is Rodgers, being chased out left. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ziggy Ansah in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And this seemingly endless drive continues. An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. On third and long, it's Rodgers. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Kelvin Benjamin from 13 yards out. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And he's got it up and through. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm to the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
319. Easy.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Caught on the right side. Reed. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Jordan Reed has it. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jordan Reed, 58 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Elway will throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The former Patriot, Lawyer Malloy, with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Julio Jones, as the first half is winding down, and the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And his kick is right through. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Now Elway on first down. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of time. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Well, the offense lining up first and 10.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Steps away to his left. It's a gain of 5, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Benjamin with it over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Red zone opportunity. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. 319! Rodgers to throw on second down. Incomplete. Back now in Baltimore. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Buying time to his left. Out to the left here to Reed. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California. Cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V. All reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
I got some out in Dallas, now I'm smelling like LA. Met a from Miami, to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly, left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti, I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis, like they be open. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses, glitter really and gleam. Mix it like a bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's up California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga, and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me up Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. Don't interrupt, darling, I'm in the zone. Why does everywhere I go just remind me of home?
Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis ready for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a peek at some of the big players in today's game, and you're a big player in today's game as well. Let's get the party started. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to... Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. No gain on the play there, second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
On second down, Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Anquan Boldin. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. It's caught, left side, Boldin. And he'll be down deep into Jacksonville territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards. So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, 1st and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ben Roethlisberger taking it in. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And he's able to put it through. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. End zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On first down, it's Gurley. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. The one running back is Gurley. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Coons connects on this one. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he's got some space here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. He'll buy some time right. And some room to roam now. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on first. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
The one running back is Gurley. Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Now Gurley, and he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger eluding the pressure right. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure it's...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Now Elway back into his end zone. Looking left side, and it's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. Throwing now, Elway on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Elway. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Elway on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They'll get 16 yards there. And it'll give the Jags a first down. On 1st and 10, Elway. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Second and 10, Elway again. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 3rd down, a field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. And a long way to go. They started that drive at their own 3, and they score 3 from it.
What an excellent job by an offense that could have very easily just said, okay, let's just take a few plays safe, punt the ball away, and play some defense. Instead, they found a way to attack and put themselves in position to put points on the board.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Here we go now. Green 3.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 51 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run it with Johnson. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Now Elway on 3rd and long. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. On 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is real.
Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Raynitzky. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Touchdown, Jaguars! Marvin Harrison, 37 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They've talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Here's Gurley. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there. And it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. So still in search of the first down after that last completion. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Roethlisberger, he's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
And this is a spot where you have your offense stay out there to get those few inches. It's too long for a field goal. It's not worth punting. So this is the right decision as far as I'm concerned. And they wind up picking up the first down.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. And now a first down following that long gain.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gain, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And it's up and good. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Roethlisberger will throw, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. Another pistol look here. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. Complete here to the right to Golden. A pickup there of 37. And the Cowboys are set up now with a 1st and goal. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Ray Nitschke. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And a lot.
LaShawn McCoy off to the races. He's at the 30. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
And turning it to the defensive side, absolute deflation.
Was it a major surprise? Perhaps. Look at the clock. You've got to think with that much real estate to cover, they're going to have to throw the football. And they crossed him up and ran it. And boy, did they ever. That went all the way. You're exactly right. Not just deflation, but everyone's confused. How did they give up a run of that magnitude in this situation?
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Ray Nitschke. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll go again to McCoy. And some room to maneuver. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did. All the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Oh, Elway's going to throw it. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
Draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth who refused to belong. No name nuisance, stews in a bedroom, booze in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone out to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all that you do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light, I left some will, the spirit away. I left let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed.
We are set, ready to rock for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup, and these guys on your screen ready to rock as well. Some of the stars of today's game, and speaking of the game, let's get right to it. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. The first down throw for Winston. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Here's Charles. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
First down, Winston. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
The coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Sliding out of the pocket. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Nitschke.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
On third down, Elway. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. And on display right there, the arm that made John Elway a lot of money.
And that's going to leave a mark because when he throws it with that much force, one of the best arms the game has ever seen, one of the strongest ones, it does leave a mark. They actually called it the Elway cross because you could see the imprint on a player after he caught one of those bullet passes.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll run it with McCoy. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power, and we just saw it on that play.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. A give to McCoy. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Time running out here on the play clock. 3rd and goal. Elway looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on a final play of this 1st quarter. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
Jamal Charles, nobody in front, past the 20. Touchdown! Jamal Charles, 85 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Here we go now.
Play action, Elway. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Elway. And he comes back with one complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Here's McCoy. brought down just shy of the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson, and he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And we've arrived at the 2-minute warning here in half number 1. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now Elway on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. Good enough for an Oakland first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
On first, they'll throw with Elway. Caught left side by Hilton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They go back to the ground with McCoy. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Von Miller from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. Now a second down throw for Winston. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. To throw, Winston. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
Well, I've got to give him some credit there. He tried to sell the out route. He tried to sell it hard. And as a receiver, what you're really trying to do is maneuver a defender inside to give yourself a little more cushion breaking to the out. But how about the defender reading it really well, not buying the fake or the maneuver inside, and getting to the sideline and helping break up the pass?
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Second and 10. Elway again. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On second down, Elway. Dancing to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden with it. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Second down, Winston. Escaping the pressure right. Room here to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too, and you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And Reed with it over the middle. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
There's a good pitch to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now Winston, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They go back to the ground now with Charles. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the third quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
Looking left side, and it's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st and 10, Elway. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. 10th carry now for McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
The previous play was a nice run, so they came back with the draw. I think they were trying to fool the defense into thinking they would throw the ball and wanted to run it again. Unsuccessful, but this team is definitely showing they want to keep it on the ground. I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trick in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
7 yards to go on second down. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try the right side with McCoy. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on third down, it's Elway. It's brought in left side by Tate. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Jameis now on first down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Winston to throw. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now, whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Jameis to throw it. It fights him off. Flush to his right. That'll go as a loss of 5. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Winston. And he connects with Ebron. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.
Put away your inhibitions. Let the beast in you just get loose. We all young, wild, and different. We can all get from a little. I know you're terrified by what the future lies, but there's no compromising. It's my way or the highway. We all just slave to lust, heart building, breaking trust. Don't get wild when we come out, like don't get loud when the come out. That's instant.
Charles and I settled here in the booth. This should be a fun one. Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a look at some of the stars here of today's game. Let's get right to it. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The one receiver right. Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Ray Nitschke. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. He'll get the football here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now it's Elway. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
McCoy. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a pickup of 21. And it'll be first down Bears.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
An excellent pickup of 34 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Give him 22 on that one. And the Bears are set up now, 1st and goal. And now a first down following that long gain. From the gun, here's Newton. forced out to his left. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now here come the Raiders. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows.
LaShawn McCoy off to the races. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. LaShawn McCoy, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
No, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. That was second down run for Murray. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. It's third down, 6 yards to go for the offense. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Throwing on third down, Newton. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
On first down, Murray. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. From the 50, Newton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Throwing is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Newton to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Newton's Super Bowl nemesis, Von Miller, coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. He completes it to Bryant. 22 yards on the pickup there. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
They'll run the counter with Murray. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told us,
and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Dez Bryant, 26 yards. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
2nd down and 4. No way to throw on 2nd. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Elway on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They come out here in the eye. Again, it's Murray. And some space here. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. Out comes is a Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Again, it's McCoy. And some room to work. And he cuts it right sideline. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. LaShawn McCoy, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
Murray, the lone setback. Newton. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a run...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Javon Curse in there to sack him for a loss of 6. On second down, here's Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Lawyer Malloy. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Oakland ready to take.
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddy's girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country.